In June 2025, a viewer named Dave R. from Colorado posted his repair bill in the comments. He bought a 2023 Ram 1500 with the 3-liter twin-turbo engine to tow his 9,000-pound fifth wheel. After 22,000 miles, the turbochargers failed on a mountain grade. The repair was $11,400 and it was denied under warranty. He called it a grenade with a payment plan. He was right. Here is why. Chapter 1: The Fall of the King. There was a time when the American half-ton pickup truck was the most reliable working machine in the world. Not because it was sophisticated, because it was not. A cast iron V8, a simple 4-speed automatic, and enough displacement to produce torque through leverage rather than pressure. You could pull a camper across Nevada in August without looking at the temperature gauge because the engine was not operating near the edge of its thermal capacity. It was barely trying. That truck is gone. Not retired. Eliminated. The EPA's corporate average fuel economy standards have made it economically impossible for manufacturers to sell a simple large displacement V8 in a half-ton truck without paying compliance penalties that destroy the profit margin on every unit. So they replaced the V8 with something that looks like progress on a spec sheet and behaves like a liability on a mountain grade. They gave you a twin-turbo V6 and told you it was an upgrade. The spec sheet is not lying. The spec sheet is just not telling you what happens to that engine when you hook a 10,000-pound trailer to the back and point it at a 7% grade in July. Chapter 2: The Physics of the Swindle. Here is the physics they do not explain in the commercial. A classic V8 engine makes torque through displacement. Big cylinders, long stroke, massive combustion event. It does not have to work hard to move weight because the architecture is built for leverage. Think of it as a weightlifter doing a squat with a 200-pound bar. The mechanics are aligned with the load. Now take that same load and give it to a distance runner. The runner can move it, but not through leverage, through speed and pressure. And speed and pressure generate heat. That is exactly what a twin-turbo V6 does under towing load. To make 400 horsepower from a 3.0-liter or 3.5-liter displacement, the turbochargers spin at up to 200,000 revolutions per minute, forcing compressed air into cylinders that were not sized to receive it at that pressure. Cylinder temperatures spike. The computer dumps extra fuel to cool the combustion event. That heat soaks into the oil. The oil cooks the bearings. The bearings fail. The sequence is not a defect specific to one manufacturer. It is the mechanical consequence of squeezing a commercial-grade workload out of a passenger car engine architecture. The brochure shows the horsepower number. It does not show the thermal map of what the engine looks like on the 3rd hour of a mountain grade in August. This is not a single brand problem. The EPA mandate applies to every manufacturer selling half-ton trucks in the United States, and every manufacturer has produced the same category of failure through a different specific mechanism. Start with Ford. The 3.5-liter EcoBoost is the best-selling engine in the best-selling vehicle in America. It is also the engine that Ford's own technicians describe as sensitive to towing heat in a way the 5.0-liter V8 never was. Cam phaser failures on the EcoBoost, the variable valve timing components that rattle and fail under sustained high-load operation, carry a repair bill of $3,000 to $4,500 and appear consistently between 60,000 and 90,000 miles on trucks used for regular towing duty. Ford has issued multiple technical service bulletins on cam phaser rattle. None of them replace the underlying architecture. Move to General Motors. To keep their 5.3-liter V8 compliant with CAFE standards without downsizing displacement, General Motors installed Dynamic Fuel Management, a computer-controlled system that deactivates cylinders when the truck is cruising to save fuel. The hardware that executes this deactivation is a set of electronically controlled lifters. Under towing load, when the system switches repeatedly between 4-cylinder and 8-cylinder mode, those lifters can collapse. A collapsed lifter takes the camshaft with it. The repair requires a complete engine teardown. Low-mileage Silverados and Sierras are sitting in dealer service bays right now with bent push rods and destroyed valve trains, because the system designed to satisfy a government fuel economy number compromised the mechanical integrity of the engine it was installed in. Then there is Ram. The 3.0-liter eco-diesel and the 3.5-liter e-torque mild hybrid both represent different versions of the same compromise. These are complex systems layered onto platforms that were not originally engineered for them, optimized for dyno performance and fuel economy figures rather than sustained thermal endurance under load. The pattern across all three manufacturers is identical: an engine that performs brilliantly in controlled conditions, meets every regulatory requirement on paper, and degrades faster than the V8 it replaced when exposed to the real-world thermal stress of towing a loaded RV across mountainous terrain. Dave R. from Colorado was not unlucky. He was representative. Chapter 4. What the TOW rating does not tell you. The number on the window sticker is the maximum tow rating under optimal conditions. Read the footnotes in the owner's manual and you find the qualifications: sea level altitude, 70 degrees ambient temperature, a professional driver on a controlled course, a specific hitch configuration, and a specific payload. Remove any one of those conditions, and the rated number no longer applies. If you tow at altitude in summer heat with a family in the cab and gear in the bed, which is how every real camping trip works, you are operating outside the conditions that produced the sticker number. A viewer named Mark H. from Phoenix documented his experience towing an 8,500-pound fifth wheel with a 2022 F-150 EcoBoost from Flagstaff to the North Rim. A transmission temperature warning appeared on the first sustained grade. The engine fan was running at maximum audible speed within 20 minutes. He pulled over 3 times in 40 miles to let the drivetrain cool. The truck never went into limp mode. It never failed, but it communicated clearly and repeatedly that it was operating at the edge of its thermal capacity on a load that the window sticker said it was rated to pull. That gap between rated capacity and comfortable working capacity is the swindle. You are paying $80,000 for a truck that is technically capable of towing your RV and practically unsuitable for doing it repeatedly over a working lifetime. Chapter 5. Transmission Trap. Nobody warns you about the engine is only half of the problem. Modern half-ton trucks are paired with transmissions engineered for one primary purpose: keeping the engine inside its most fuel-efficient revolutions per minute range at highway speed. The 10-speed automatic that Ford and GM now use in their half-ton platforms is a masterpiece of fuel economy engineering. It has so many gears that the computer can find a ratio where the engine barely works at any speed. On the highway unladen, that is efficient and smooth. Under towing load on a variable grade, it is a disaster. A 10-speed transmission under towing load on a mountain highway hunts constantly. It shifts up to save fuel, detects the load, shifts down, finds the torque, shifts up again. Each shift cycle generates heat in the clutch packs. Heat degrades the transmission fluid. Degraded fluid accelerates clutch wear. On trucks used for regular towing duty, transmission failures at 80,000 to 110,000 miles are appearing at rates that transmission shops in mountain states describe as unlike anything they saw in the previous generation. One transmission specialist in Denver told me, "I used to see this truck's transmission at 200,000 miles. Now I see it at 80,000 because it spent those 80,000 miles hunting for gears on I-70 with a trailer behind it. The gearing that makes the truck efficient, empty, makes it destructive under load. That trade-off is in nobody's brochure." Chapter 6. The trucks that still actually work. So does this mean you abandon towing entirely? No. It means you stop buying the mandate and start buying the machine. The half-ton platform with a twin-turbo V6 is a compliance vehicle disguised as a work truck. The answer is not a newer version of the same compromise. The answer is a different class of truck or a different era of truck, and the options are specific. Option 1 is the Ford F-250 or F-350 Super Duty with the 7.3-liter Godzilla gas V8. Ford's engineering team looked at the failure rates of their own EcoBoost engines in heavy-duty applications and built a deliberate anachronism: a massive cast-iron pushrod V8 with no turbochargers, no cylinder deactivation, and no variable valve timing. It drinks gasoline like a 1970s muscle car. It does not care. Run the math. Fuel costs over 10 years are cheaper than one twin-turbo engine replacement out of warranty. Ford put this engine in shuttle buses and box trucks designed to run 12 hours a day for 500,000 miles. In a consumer Super Duty, it is working at a fraction of its designed capacity. That is what an overbuilt engine feels like. Option 2 is the Ram 2500 or 3500 with the 6.7-liter Cummins turbo diesel. This engine has been the benchmark for fifth wheel and gooseneck towing for 2 decades because the torque curve is matched to the load rather than engineered around an emissions test cycle. The 6.7-liter Cummins produces 1,000 pound-feet of torque through displacement and diesel combustion physics, not through turbocharger pressure stacked on a small displacement block. The emission systems on the modern Cummins will eventually require maintenance. The bottom end of the engine will outlast the truck around it. Option 3 is the used market, specifically pre-2022 Toyota Tundra with the 5.7-liter 3 URF EV8. This is the engine Toyota abandoned when the accountants overruled the engineers. In 2007, Victor Shepard drove a Tundra with this engine to 1 million miles on the original block. When Toyota engineers tore it down, the internal measurements were still within factory specifications for a new engine. That is not a sales claim. That is a documented teardown result. A well-maintained 2018 to 2021 Tundra with the 5.7-liter bought in the used market today will statistically outlast a brand new twin-turbo model by a margin the window sticker will never disclose. The 500,000-mile tow truck is dead in the showroom. It is still alive in the used market if you know what to look for. Chapter 7. What you are actually buying when you buy modern. Here is the question nobody at the dealership is going to ask you. How many towing miles are you planning to put on this truck over the next 10 years? Because the answer to that question determines whether you are buying a tool or buying a grenade with a warranty. A buyer who tows twice a year on flat terrain for weekend trips is probably fine with the EcoBoost or the e-Torque. The thermal stress is manageable at that frequency. A buyer who tows a fifth wheel to mountain campgrounds 20 weekends a year is buying an engine that will require significant drivetrain work before the loan is paid off. The manufacturer knows both of these buyers exist. The window sticker does not distinguish between them. The modern half-ton truck is no longer engineered to be a tool for the working lifetime of the person who buys it. It is engineered to pass an emissions test on a dyno, satisfy a CAFE standard on paper, and survive the warranty period under average use conditions. Average use conditions do not include towing a loaded RV up a 7% grade in summer heat 20 times a year. That use case was the entire design brief of the V8 it replaced. Do not trade a paid-off reliable V8 for a monthly payment on a thermal time bomb. The commercial shows the sunset and the open highway. It does not show the service invoice at 85,000 miles. The twin-turbo Swindle is not a secret. The engineers who designed these engines know exactly what the thermal limits are under sustained towing load. The manufacturers know the failure patterns because they see the warranty claims. The dealership knows the repair frequency because the service department is the most profitable square footage on the lot. What they are counting on is that you will not run the math until after you have signed the contract and driven the new truck off the lot with a trailer attached for the first time. The buyers who will not be on the side of a mountain grade with a blown turbo and a denied warranty claim are the ones who understood that a compliance vehicle and a work truck are two different products wearing the same badge. Buy the displacement. Buy the iron. Buy the truck that was engineered for the load you are actually going to put on it. The V8 is not dead. It is just not on the half-ton lot anymore. That is the calculation the dealership was hoping you would not make before you signed. If this investigation changed how you read a window sticker, subscribe to this channel. Every week, we publish one forensic audit into the engineering failures, warranty traps, and mandate-driven compromises that manufacturers prefer you discover only after the check has cleared. The RV towing market is changing faster in 2026 than at any point in the last 30 years. The next investigation is already running. Do not make an $85,000 mistake before you watch it.